Hello guys, and welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. Now today's video I am going to talk about the Luton versus Manchester City game in the FA Cup. We're playing against one of the hardest teams, well one of the best teams in fact, in the world. And do I think we're going to have a special night tomorrow in front of the TV cameras? Unfortunately no, I don't think we are. I'm trying to be positive and I'm trying to give a very balanced opinion, but I just don't see a world where we beat Manchester City. I just don't. I really don't, especially with how we've performed over the last 3 games. If we do what we did against Liverpool, against City, I just feel like we're gonna have an absolute thrashing, and it could be the worst scoreline of the season for us. And I really hope that isn't the case. I hope it's a little bit more similar to how we played them last time in the Premier League, where we only lost 2-1. I think a few individual errors at the back that cost us that game. I would much rather it be like that than what I think is going to happen. Last time out, Haaland was unavailable and so was Kevin De Bruyne. Both of those players are now back and City are much stronger. Kevin De Bruyne for me is the complete midfielder, one of the best players in the Premier League. In fact, I think he is the best player in the Premier League when he's fit and ready to go. What he can do on the ball is absolutely unbelievable. And how I think we're going to stop him, I do not know. We've got a lot of players out, key players out in fact, who are very important to the way we like to play our football. Lokonga and obviously Elijah Adebayo both have been confirmed that they will not be playing in this game against City. We've got quite a lot of players out in fact. Nakamba, Adebayo as I've just mentioned, also Lokonga, Mans Anderson, Jacob Brown, of course Tom Lockyer as well. It's just so many players are just out injured, and of course for a team like Man City, when they have players out injured, it doesn't impact them too much because they've got absolute quality worth of millions of pounds to replace that player. We don't have that. So when Elijah Adebayo is out, we are paying the price quite a bit for it. And if I'm being brutally honest with you, I kind of want to go through this game without another player getting injured. I'm quite surprised to see Doherty back in the side. He has been declared that he is fit to play. I'm a little bit concerned that we're overdoing him a little bit, because I would much rather he stay fit for the league matches. In fact, I would much rather we not play the strongest team possible. I know a lot of people want us to go for it. I've got mixed feelings about going for it. I feel like long-term benefit, it would be more important for us to stay in the Premier League for a number of seasons than having a potential chance at winning the FA Cup. I just don't think we're going to win the FA Cup, if I'm being brutally honest with you. Of course, if we beat Man City, then yes, we've got a massive, strong chance of doing that. But I feel like relegation, I feel like staying up in the Premier League is probably more likely going to happen than Luton winning the FA Cup. I know people like to dream, and I don't want to damage those dreams, but I just don't see a world where we beat Man City tomorrow. I really don't, and I'm trying my best not to be too negative, but I feel like confidence is a little bit low. I feel like we're making too many individual errors at the back. The amount of times we gave the ball away to Liverpool was not good enough. You can't do that against any side in the division. And when you do it against one of the best teams in the league at pressing, in fact the world at pressing, you're going to get absolutely punished. And I feel like that could potentially happen against City tomorrow. I'm a little bit, unknown on what we're going to play, what type of system we're going to play. Are we going to continue the same way? Are we going to continue with the same personnel? I'll be interested to see what we can actually do. Are we going to change it up a bit? I'm not too sure. But, whatever happens, happens. I know every time I'm negative, these boys like to prove me wrong. So, who knows what could potentially happen. But for me, Villa at home, I feel like is more important. And especially when we've lost the last 3 Premier League matches, I feel like we need to put more of our focus towards the league and trying to stay up in the Premier League. Because I do think we've got a chance, especially with the fixtures that are coming up for us. We've got some must-win games coming. It came out today that Everton have had their point deduction shortened as well. So that gives them more of a chance of staying up in the Prem. And that means we've got that gap between the next team above us, which is Forest. You know, it's a little bit bigger than what we want, but I feel like we need to be touching distance. Our last 5 games in the Premier League are all winnable, if I'm being brutally honest with you. In fact, there are, like, when I've looked at the last 13 Premier League games which we've got, there's only 3 of them which I just don't think are winnable. All the rest I feel like they are winnable if we play the way which I know we can play, and with confidence, aggressiveness. So I feel like it's important for the likes of Elijah to not rush his recovery. The same with the other players as well. And if a player is got a knock, like potentially Doherty does after Liverpool, then there's no point risking him in an FA Cup game which we can only dream of winning about. So that's just my views on it. I'm interested to see what happens tomorrow night. Hopefully we do give it our all. Hopefully we do put in a similar performance like we did last time we played against City, and don't repeat that second half performance against Liverpool, because if we do, unfortunately it's going to be lights out and it's going to be done and dusted very quickly. But yeah, those are my thoughts. My score prediction for tomorrow, unfortunately I am going to go with a horrible scoreline, and I am going to say we are going to lose probably 3-0 if I'm being brutally honest with you. I just hope that is wrong. I just really hope that is wrong. But those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you after the game tomorrow with my thoughts on how we did against one of the best teams in the world.